So honestly, that's the greatest thing for me, because he's like 6 o'clock.
Good evening. The hour of 6 p.m. having arrived, I will call to order this regular meeting of the Planning, Licenses, and Development Committee. This meeting is being broadcast live on the City of Keene YouTube channel and channel 1302. The video is also streamed on the city's website and is posted on the website by the end of the next business day, barring any technical difficulties. Copies of the printed agenda are available in the wall pockets as you enter the meeting room. The public and other city councilors will be recognized to ask questions and comment on the agenda items under discussion. After being recognized, all remarks are to be made through the chair. I will not recognize an individual a second time until everyone who wishes to has had a chance to speak. Anyone who wishes to address the committee is asked to go to one of the microphones in the room and identify themselves by name and address prior to speaking. Written comments from the public will be accepted at the city clerk's office until Tuesday at 1 p.m. I will now call to order this regular meeting of the Planning, Licenses, and Development Committee and declare a quorum present. Thank you, everyone, for coming tonight. We've had quite a bit of soggy weather and hoping for some sunshine tomorrow. We should have a pretty short agenda tonight. We're going to jump right in. Our first item is our Keene Swamp Bats request to discharge fireworks on July 25th, 2025, and I think we have Kevin Watterson here to speak to us.
Thank you. My name is Kevin Watterson. I reside at 10 Westview Avenue, Keene, New Hampshire. I'm representing the Keene Swamp Bats tonight. The letter that we had, that we were initially going to submit to the council was to request 3 nights of fireworks. We've done that a couple of times in the past. We would do opening night, we would do the city's Independence Eve, and then we would do what we call the last game of the season. But in deference to, it's a small town, and so it became, it was out there that the council wasn't, that maybe we were overdoing it, our requests for fireworks. So we cut it back to 2. We were here last night for the community funding, and thank you for the Independence Eve. And then we've also put in a request for fireworks on the last Friday of the season. We recognize host families. It's a big night for us, so we thought fireworks would be appropriate. And that's my reason for being here.
Well, great. Thank you so much. And I really appreciate you following along with some of the conversation about fireworks. I know we see you every year. And, there has been some conversation happening, and we're working on a draft to an ordinance. So I think we'll see it for first reading pretty soon that puts some parameters around the discharge of fireworks in any one location. So we would allow more than 3 in the municipality, but at the one location, we're trying to not leave the burden fully on one district. So I do appreciate you guys taking that into consideration when you put your request in. I know we have another request for fireworks tonight, so it leaves a little bit of room there for that. City staff?
There are no concerns with this request.
Okay, great. Anyone from the committee? Yes, Councilor Williams.
Yeah, I would just like to say thank you. I think that's very thoughtful, leaving space for others. I appreciate it. And just wondering if you had any other thoughts on the licensing process. Has it, getting the permit for the fireworks, has that been a problem for you? Is there anything that the city could do better, or do you have any thoughts there?
In terms of permitting, I can't sing the praises louder than for both fire and police. And we work with Atlas and the state. And the end really is fire and police signing off, ensuring that we're dotting I's and crossing T's. They're great to work with, and they're great at the events.
That's good. We're proud of our fire and police in this city.
Councilor Jones?
Thank you. Kevin, I just want to say I'm probably the only one in this room that remembers that the Independence Day celebration used to be run by the Rotary for many, many years.
It did.
And unfortunately, they could no longer get the volunteers for staffing. And we thought there was going to be no more Independence Day, and the Swamp Bats picked it up and ran with it. And it was just a tremendous comeback for for celebrating Independence Day, and I still remember that. I don't know if people around here know the history of that, but that was a great thing for the community, and we thank you for doing that. I still remember that from years ago.
You're welcome, and it does speak to who the Swamp Bats are. Our tagline is community wrapped in baseball. And anything, we're out there. We spend 80% of our time on community, 20% on baseball. Baseball's easy. So appreciate those comments, Phil.
And I can tell you too, I have two teenagers at home that are really excited for the games this year.
Oh, that's great
and
to hear.
get out there. So, yeah, we're happy that you guys are able to pick that up for us, and that, you know, it brings the community together in the summer.
Great.
Counselor Haas, do you have anything to add?
Why, thank you. Ditto.
All right. Anyone from the public wishing to speak on this? Seeing none, I would ask for a motion.
Just one more question. When does the Swamp Bat season start?
So our players arrive on May 31st, and then they need to be done with conference and regionals. And our opening, we don't practice much. We kick it in on June 3rd, and we play about 6 nights a week, 44 games. I always like to remind those who are true baseball aficionados, we had 9 players last year drafted in the Major League Baseball draft. So we're proud of that, but we're certainly more proud of we're probably proudest of Independence Eve. To put 5,000 or 6,000 people together, you know, laying on the grass eventually after the game, it's a pretty special night. We're proud of that.
That's great. I love the opportunity to watch baseball in this city.
Thank you.
I move to recommend that the Keene Swamp Bats be granted permission for the discharge of display fireworks on Friday, July 25th, 2025, on Alumni Field at no later than 10 p.m., and reserving a rain date to be determined in conjunction with city staff in the event of inclement weather. Said permission is subject to the following conditions: the signing of a revocable license and indemnification agreement, that the Keene Swamp Bats provide a certificate of liability insurance with the city of Keene listed as an additional insured in the amount of $1 million, that the fireworks vendor also provide a certificate of liability insurance with the city of Keene listed as an additional insured in the amount of $1 million, submittal of a signed letter of permission from SIU 29 for the use of their property, and obtainment of a state fireworks permit. In addition, the petitioner agrees to comply with any recommendations of city staff. The petitioner agrees to absorb the cost of any city services over and above the amount of city funding allocated in the fiscal year 26 community event budget. Said payment shall be made within 30 days of the date of invoicing.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion by Counselor Williams, seconded by Counselor Jones. Any questions on that motion? Anyone from the public? Seeing none, I would ask for a vote. All in favor? And that is unanimous. Great. We'll send it up to council next week.
Thank you.
Our second item on the agenda tonight is Jim Copo and Jimmy Tempesta's request to discharge fireworks for the First Responder Appreciation Community Day on August 24th, 2025. And I think we have Jim with us tonight.
My name is Jim Copo. I reside at 7 Westminster Drive in Fitzwilliam. Normally Jimmy Tempesta would be here with me, but he has a Selectmen's Board meeting tonight, so he was unable to attend. So subsequently, I'm going solo today.
That's okay. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your event?
Yep. So this is the second year event we did last year. It's for a police fire appreciation day, where we have a softball game, we have touch a truck, we have music playing throughout the day, and the public is going to come and show appreciation to our firefighters and our police officers, and just thank them for their service to the city, to the community, and for what they do. The softball games last year were a big hit. We do a big event at the restaurant in March, and we use that to promote this. At this event, 330 police officers from the community, 86 of them from Keene, were there with their families on a blue carpet event. The mayor, the governor, the AG, the senators, the congresswoman, all kinds of dignitaries came and spoke and supported the police at that event. Jimmy and I go above and beyond to, on Easter, Thanksgiving, and Christmas, we feed all the police officers working. And then this adds into the first responder day here, where we feed everybody and we let them practice up to a certain event. And then we do battle. It's county versus county, city versus city, fire versus police. And then we have a great day, music. We have Fitzwilliam Police Department has their car show here. Last year, if you remember, the date that we picked was kind of a cruddy day. It was wet and soggy at the beginning, but the police department was out there. Members of the police department were out there getting the field ready. We actually went off without a hitch after that. And even on a soggy, wet morning, we still had 200 exotic cars and trucks. And then we did have a fireworks show at the end that was pretty special. It was all colored themed and music themed for first responders. So, and, I just heard, the police and the fire, and that's what this is for. And we didn't, last year was August 18th, but we knew, we had talked to Kevin in the past, and we just wanted to spread out a little bit, so we did it 24th so that we weren't putting too much in a small window. And we picked the 24th this year. So that's about it.
Well, thank you so much for that explanation. I know last year was your first year. It sounds like you guys had a great event, and the city really appreciated it. I know that the first responders did as well. Do we have any questions from the committee?
Yeah,
Councilor Ross?
Thank you, Chair. I just appreciate you being flexible with the date. It's nice to spread things out, and that gives a nice end of August before school starts and all. So, great. Go forward.
Thank you.
Councilor Jones?
Thank you. Jim, thank you for doing this. I watched a lot of it last year. I think it was a great time. It was a great event, and it says a lot for Keene. So thank you very much to you and to Jimmy when you see him. I see him every once in a while down at the restaurant, but I always thank him.
Well, we appreciate it, and I know he appreciates it. And I just want to be straight up and tell you that Jimmy and I do it because we can and because we want to. We take great pride. My brother-in-law works at the fire department. He's a code guy or whatever. He just started here a year ago, and my son's a police officer in the city of Keene. And these guys, it means so much to us to say thanks to them. Not one police officer or fireman show up at this event that we don't thank them. We shake the hands. That's the way it goes. There's tragic events that happen, and these guys are human beings. These women are human beings. They're first responders, and they deal with stuff that nobody should have to deal with. This is a day where they can go, put their feet up, put their arms up, and be thanked. And that's what this is about. It means a lot to us, obviously.
Yeah. And it shows. I mean, you guys put a lot of care and effort in coordinating into this, and I know it probably takes you an entire year to pull off an event like this. So I'm sure that the guys that are showing up and the ladies that are showing up can tell how much heart there is behind it. And I think council is excited to get to support it again.
We appreciate it.
It's important. We see the hard work that our fire departments and our police departments do on a daily basis. Through our city manager, and it's good I'm glad that we're including the counties too and reaching out just beyond the scope of Keene. I think it's fun. I love that you have a little bit of friendly competition going on. I hope it stays friendly on the field.
Oh, it stays friendly. I mean, and there's people right in this room that are on our little Blue Line Appreciation page, and they see all the hype and the build-up, and it's all fun.
Yep.
It's all fun. And then they go do battle on the field, and that was evident that they wanted to play that day.
Right.
And everything else was secondary. But at the end, it was extra special. And we got and we're so cognizant about the noise and all the things that go along with fireworks. We're cognizant about that. And, it just adds just that little touch, And we want to stay in the city of Keene. We want to stay right there. And we've already talked to the fire department, the police department, Atlas. We've already got everything in line. And we've talked to the SAU. We got them all on board. And we're just excited about this. And we want every member of the community to come there and say thank you to these police officers and firefighters and emergency workers, EMS people, because that's what this is about. And I guess it's just a personal thing with us, and I see it every single day with my kid. So,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
my daughter's an EMT at Cheshire, so down at the ambulance thing.
Yeah, all of those are such important and difficult jobs, and you're absolutely right. It takes a toll on a person, and it's really nice to hear thank you. Do we have any more questions, Counselor Williams?
Just to ask you the same question I asked the Swamp Bats, because I'm just trying to collect data here.
Yep.
But with respect to specifically the fireworks permit, how has that gone for you? Has there been any, do you have any concerns about it, or is there anything you would change about how it works right now?
Well, last year, I think I was new to it with Jimmy, and we didn't really know, so we did it kind of late, and we kind of got under the 8 ball a little bit. This year, we're way above, in time, and we've already reached out to the fire department, we've reached out to the police department, reached out to Atlas. Atlas has already got all the paperwork ready to go. We already have the insurance in place, everything with the city and the SAU, both listed as additionally insured. So everything that we need to do, we've done. And again, being cognizant about the March 24th date, so that we weren't too, bang, bang, back-to-back type of things. And we just want a nice little short thing where, it's color-coordinated music, and that's a good way for the day to end. It starts with the rumble and thunders of the nice cars coming in. I mean, there were cars there that were unbelievable. We had $1 million worth of Corvettes pull in at 8 o'clock. 10 Corvettes, all $100,000 Corvettes, came in together. It's pretty special to see that. And all the cops are out there, all the firemen out there. And then all of a sudden we had fire trucks showing up, and Fish and Game was there. State Police was there in the pouring rain with a motorcycle. The Bearcat was there from the city. I mean, all the stuff, and they were setting tents up, and people were walking around, and they were thanking. You could hear it, thanking. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's what this is about. And at the end of the day, I mean, we must have got 500 thank yous. This isn't about us. Thank them. And we made it clear. There were state reps there. There was some of you guys were there. We just want to emphasize that we appreciate the first responders of this community, and it's an important thing. And again, Jimmy and I do it only because we want to and we can. That's it. We each have our own agenda. I mean, my agenda is my kid, right? I mean, straight up. I mean, that's my driving force. I mean, I'm proud of my kid and what he does in the city. And he was one of the ones that were out there making sure that field was ready to play. And it was the best time. I announced the game from up in the booth, and it was like special. It was like magic. It was great. So I appreciate all your support. I really do.
So I want to reach out to the public. Do we have any questions from the public tonight? All right. Seeing none, I think I'm actually ready for a motion. Counselor Jones.
Thank you. I would move to recommend that Jim Capo and Jimmy Tempesta for the First Responders Appreciation Community Day be granted permission for the discharge of display fireworks on Sunday, August 24th, 2025, which is supposed to be a beautiful day, on Alumni Field at no later than 10 p.m. Said permission is subject to the following conditions: the signing of a revocable license and indemnification agreement that Jim Capo and Jimmy Tempesta for the First Responders Appreciation Community Day provide a certificate of liability insurance with the City of Keene listed as additional insured in the amount of $1 million, that the fireworks vendor also provide a certificate of liability insurance with the City of Keene listed as an additional insured in the amount of $1 million. Submittal of a signed letter of permission from SAU 29 for the use of their property, and obtainment of a state fireworks permit. In addition, the petitioner agrees to comply with any recommendation of city staff The petitioner agrees to absorb the cost of any city costs. Said payment shall be made within 30 days of the date of invoicing.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion by Counselor Jones, seconded by Counselor Haas. Any questions on that motion?
No, I sincerely appreciate each one of you.
And I heard you check off all of those boxes already, so I think you probably got most of it in order. Anyone from the public have any questions on that motion? All right, seeing none, I would ask for a vote. All in favor? And that's unanimous tonight as well.
I appreciate
We really
all of you. Thank you.
appreciate all the effort you guys are putting in. I know that departments appreciate it, and I'm sure your son appreciates it.
Well, I thank you all.
All right, have a great night.
Thanks.
Okay, item 3 is the Keene Family YMCA's request for road closure for Summit Road on June 8th, 2025. And I believe we have Kelly with us tonight.
Hello.
Hi, Kelly.
Kelly Fluette, Schuler Way, Keene, New Hampshire.
Thank you so much. Can you tell us a little bit about your event?
Yes, so we're requesting a road closure for Summit Road on June 8th for our youth triathlon. It's our 4th year. We see 80 to 100 kids for this event.
And I know that we have talked with you guys the last few years, and each time, I believe Counselor Jones lives in this neighborhood. He has come up and brought up the point that you guys have done a really great job reaching out to all the neighbors and letting everyone know. I'm assuming that is also happening again this year.
Correct.
But we've never had anyone reach back out to us and say that they were inconvenienced or had any struggles, so we really appreciate the effort that you guys have put in to making this go off without a hitch. My question to the city attorney tonight is, we've had other instances where we've had road closures that come in on a regular basis like this, and at some point, the council has offered to extend the ability for the clerk's office to administratively approve that. Is this a situation where that's something that we could consider here?
We can definitely explore that. I would like to see, probably for my own context, some of the ways we've done it in the past and then compare. I'm very mindful that the statutes put management of our road and road closures in the city council's hands. So
Okay.
it's all automatically your responsibility. If we're going to create a structure where that's delegated to staff, I want to just make sure that that's a pretty sound system that we can have check-ins on.
Okay, great. Anything to add from the city manager?
Report from, excuse me, from the meetings with the city in regards to.
Can you turn on your microphone, please?
Darn it.
So close.
So close. So Rebecca Landry shared with me the report from the Protocol Committee, and Public Works has recommended they have soft barriers to facilitate the closure at Summit Road by the YMCA entrance. They will be delivered on Friday before the event. The Police Department is providing an officer and a cruiser for the duration of the event. Licensee is to request police coverage by completing and submitting outside detail request form and verifying, excuse me, that the soft barriers are appropriately placed for the bike race portion of the event. Runners must stay on the sides of the road and not attempt to stop, block, or control vehicle traffic along the foot race. And so all that is to say, everything is in order, and there's no concerns from the Protocol Committee.
Okay, great. Any
And-
questions? Oh,
Oh, to clear, the foot race is on our property. It's on the grass. The only, the bike portion is on the road. Everything else is on the Y property.
okay, great. Any questions from the committee? No? Anyone from the public wishing to speak on this? All right, seeing none, I would ask for a motion. Counselor Hoff.
Move to recommend that the city council grant permission to the Keene Family YMCA to sponsor a youth triathlon on Sunday, June 8th, 2025, from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m., which will include the closure of Summit Road just after the YMCA entrance and Summit Ridge Drive, where it intersects with Summit Road, subject to the following conditions: the signing of a revocable license and indemnification agreement, and the submittal of a certificate of liability insurance in the amount of $1 million, listing the city of Keene as an additional insured. This license is conditional upon the petitioners providing an adequate number of volunteer race marshals to ensure runner safety along the course, providing advance notice of the race to impacted residents, and subject to any recommendations of city staff. The petitioner agrees to absorb the cost of any city services provided and agrees to remit said payment within 30 days of invoicing.
Second.
A motion by Counselor Haas, seconded by Counselor Jones. Any questions about that motion? Anyone from the public? All right, seeing none, I would ask for a vote. All in favor? And that is unanimous.
Great, thank you.
Thank you so much for coming back. All right, and we have made it to the end of our agenda. We have our last item, the lease of airport property to Avenue Development, and we have our airport director here, Dave Hickling.
Jack, you can join. We also have Jack Franks from Avenue Development. to talk
All right,
about the
great.
projects.
Do you want to get us started, Dave?
Yep, Dave Hickling, Airport Director. So what we have before us is a lease for airport property. We've been trying to develop some of the land we have there. Last summer, we put out an RFP. We had one respondent. It was Avenue Development. We've negotiated a lease per the airport land leasing policy. It includes all the language we need to make sure that we can comply with all the grant assurances. We think we've got a pretty good lease here. This development will help the airport and the community, buy the lease itself with the revenue there. Also increases the viability of the airport with more activity there, more fuel sales. We're looking at having more based turbine aircraft, which is great. The more based aircraft we get, more money we get from the state, so it just helps us all around. So, and I'll let Jack talk a little bit about the project.
Sure. Thank you. Special thanks to City Manager Elizabeth Furland and Dave Hickling, Director, for the time, effort, and energy they put into the lease to get to a point that works for everyone. So that was very much appreciated. Company's growing and we need travel, and we're going to put in a hangar there that will serve the needs of our company and allow us to travel quickly to multiple projects around the state. We're looking, we actually have a project that we're working on down in Rhode Island, one down in New Jersey at this point, and with the growth and scale ability of our process, we expect to be in other states over the next year or so as well. So this will be a really big opportunity for us to be able to get there quickly and help with the housing crisis that not only is in the state of New Hampshire, but is all over the country.
Great. Well, thank you guys so much for bringing this before us tonight. I think this is really exciting opportunity. City Manager?
Yeah, we're very excited that Mr. Franks is going to be building this hangar at the airport. The more activity we have at the airport, the better we all are for it. Not only does it bring in additional revenue, lease revenue, it brings in additional tax revenue for the town of Swansea, as well as activity to support our local businesses and our FBO at the airport as well. So there's so many benefits to a hangar project like this, and so we're excited that Mr. Franks is moving forward.
Great. Any questions from the committee? Counselor Haas?
Yeah, thank you, Chair. We've got two items. Does the lease agreement incorporate the 3% escalator clause? All
Yeah,
right, just
yes, it does.
want to give you credit for getting that going forward. And Mr. Franks, I just want to recognize Avenue for your pursuing new materials in construction and new techniques to make construction less expensive going forward. That's the key to the future, and I think Avenue is a leader in that area. So thanks for doing it.
Yeah, well, thank you for recognizing that. We can't spend our way out of the crisis we're in. We have to engineer better paths forward, and that's precisely what we've done at Avenue Development Group for the last 12 years, and we're now able to build housing twice as fast for less money, and it's more energy efficient than anything else that's out there. So, with collective effort and great ideas and cities that want to, expand their housing and opportunities, it's great to be in this position to be able to help.
Thank you.
Anyone else? All right, anyone from the public wishing to speak on this? Seeing none, I would ask for a motion.
Move to recommend that the city manager be authorized to do all things necessary to execute a land lease at the Dillon Hopkins Airport to Avenue Development for the construction of an aircraft hangar.
Second.
I have a motion by Counselor Williams, seconded by Counselor Jones. Any questions on that motion? Anyone from the public? Seeing none, I would ask for a vote. All in favor? And that is unanimous. This will go up to council next week, and I expect to see support there as well, and we're excited to see this project move forward.
Excellent, thank you. Thank
All
you.
right, thank you, guys. And we made it through probably one of our quicker PLD meetings this year, so I'm sure we all appreciate that. So at this point, I'm going to just take an adjournment, and we'll see you guys all next week at council.